And we're back. Or kinda back. Or maybe I'm back. I just didn't really expect Snowbreak to go into maintenance for what? 2.5 weeks now? And for now, I don't really have an actual second main game for the channel yet. So in the meantime, I'll just go back to my very first gacha game, which is SAO Integral Factor. We all start from somewhere, and this is the game for me. I'm glad it's still here. Oh, and the game is already at an 8-year anniversary. Wow, it's already been that long. I think I played it a year after the launch on Global. And this is, their gacha. It's kind of different from other games because we gacha, a weapon skill and not, the actual character. Not even a weapon, just the skill for the weapons. I find it fun at the time, and they typically have free pools. Whenever they can think of something to celebrate, they typically give a free pool for it. In terms of PT, it's not great. Like it's almost 4%, but there's a lot of skills that you can get RNG, so very low chance to get what you actually wanted. There are a few step up banner where you pull like maybe 4 or 5 multis to guarantee the rate up, one of the rate ups. So it's still RNG at the end of the day. And here is the pull animation, as you can see. The twinkle represents the star of, the rarity of what we'll get. So yeah, I just skip there. So yeah, I guess there's one here, 4-star skill record guaranteed, but that's RNG. And there's the step up that I'm talking about. Yeah, it's 1 4-star guarantee, but still random on what skill you'll get. Other than skills, we can pull for cosmetics. Although, I never actually use my currency for this. There are times that there's a free avatar pool, so that's what I do instead of actually using it. And there's, we can pull for materials, I guess. I never did do this. Anyway, I only got dupes here, but it's not all bad because I can, the dupes enable us to limit break the higher rare skills. Like this one, we got the limit break match based on the rarity of the skill we get. But technically we'll only get this if, the skill is already max limit break. Now for games nowadays, how would this game fare? Well, in terms of gacha, right, it's gonna be hard because, there's a lot of weapons here, but you can really just use them efficiently if you have the actual gacha skills, for it to work. If you're a person who just want a specific role, then you might be disappointed because the skills we get dictates the role we can play. Even the passives are also important to be able to deal more damage. Now, back in the days when I was active, I used a axe and dagger auto attack build. So basically, I have to do all these skills just to deal a bit of damage later on. And now I'll use the burst. Using the burst will make us, invulnerable to damage. And this the rush skill. And then I'll do the auto attack. Still actually quite low. But yeah, that was my build before. But I got kinda lucky when I'm less active. I have a bow skill now. Basically, the bow is better, on a party. Because some of the bow skills are better dealing damage when the aggro is not on the bow player. Also, some of the bow skill damage deals way more damage when, our actual HP is low. So, as you can see, my HP is low, so it's perfect. No better if I only have 1 HP left. But yeah, it's good for the current stage. And we have our partner Koharu, which will always be there if we're playing solo. Unless it's like story related. She's the only AI companion that allows self-buff to work on the player. Like this precise attack 3 or crit buff. Now this is where we farm our armor. Or at least when the time I was active, I noticed there's way more later on to farm. And we have quick party, assist party, and challenge yourself. So quick party is pretty much actual queuing, while assist party is like a bot assist. While challenge by yourself is kind of solo since the enemy won't really attack Koharu. She doesn't even have an HP. So now right from the very start, it already says that the boss crit resistance is increased. So I won't really be able to crit without Koharu here. So yeah, that yellow was a crit a while ago. Just one. And I was able to crit there as well. And that's not a crit. Mother, that isn't. So yeah, it's very rare. Even with the help of Koharu already. Now let's try the assist party. And those are bot party as well. I would say that Lisbeth is probably the best one because she's a mace user. She'll also be able to buff us. And what Lisbeth was using is pretty much what I have. Because we also set their skills. We also level them up as well. So yeah. Pretty much similar to Koharu, but they can't use self-buff to buff us. And yes, I am using a different weapon, the rapier. It's still far from what my bow can do though. I'm just activating my mace per skill for buff, then go back to rapier, and probably reset some of the buff that I can get. And time for rush and burst. And this boss is probably way weaker than the previous boss that I did, the crab one. It only seems like it's more tanky, but that's only because I'm using my rapier. Now for rapier, it feels like, it has a long animation, plenty of hits, and has a lot of crit. Oh, and my party is down. You can actually revive them if you just go to their vicinity. That's also how we revive other players. Now that's pretty much it for grinding the in-game armor. Let's go and explore a bit. Just to show, this game is more of a zone-based game, so there's a lot of teleporting or loading screens. It is sort of the hub for players. I just chill here. And this is the guild area. Now, while I am in a guild, I'm just a solo player. I really just wanted to be in a guild so that I have the sort of logo at rest. But I'm very casual in playing the game, so that's why I also chose, just to be a solo player. And this area actually changes depending on the season. So yeah, you can chill your guildmates if you have one. Now the area is, there's not a whole lot now of players because there is like an instance here server. So I'm currently on the port one. But this is where we go to the other floors. Like, as you can see, they do skip a bit of floors here. Now, since they have finished, floor 100, they are adding way more floors that they kind of skipped before, they put it on the chapter 2. But let's start with the map where we kind of farm before. Where is it? I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this. Now let's start with dungeon. The dungeon though is typically where we farm our weapons. Where the other one was for armor. This is where we farm one of the way we can farm our endgame weapons. The dungeon is just way better if we can play with other players since it does give, a higher chance to drop the materials we need. But it takes a little bit of time, to really clear it since we have a mob freeze. And for mobbing, I find, the spear really good for this since a lot of its skills are like for AoE, at least for what I have. If we have other players here, they'll be able to defeat the other mobs as well, way faster. That's pretty much the perk if you join like active guilds. Now the second way to farm is through quest board. The quest board is like, the first combat that I showed you. It just skips the mob phase and just go to the boss fight. But, the drop rates are way lower. But at the very least, we can skip the mob phase and just fight the boss fight. It's pretty much way better for solo players to just leave the quest part. Wow, that took me 3 minutes. Still very slow. Now, because of my bow build, I only have 1 HP left. Seems like I wasn't able to regenerate it. Okay, let's try going back and see if I regenerate an HP at the very least. And I didn't. So yeah, that's also the downside if you're just playing solo. Especially if you're a bow player like me. I need to teleport back. Or I guess I can just do this. Now this is the zone-based map of the floor. Yeah, back then we need to farm for, these creatures for EXP. I don't know if people still do it now. Probably not. Probably better ways to do it. But yeah, this is how we do it before. And again, that's why Spear is pretty great for Mario. Now, just to show the quest board. So again, we just choose the boss stage here. And let's find one. Let's start from this one here. This is the very first one that we need to defeat the boss for the start of the end game. As far as I remember, this is the first boss from the integral weapon series. Oh yeah, and the downside is that we have a different AI companion that's pretty much fixed. We can change it. So we can rely on Koharu here. But yeah, it's just way faster than, the dungeon. Just again, it's a way lower drop rate. Now, if we're done farming, we can crop it here. Production. Yeah, so, the very first sword is easy to farm, yeah. We pretty much farm it from a mob. And then they decided to add the integral series, which is this one. Yeah, this actually, even though we only need 2, it really takes a long time to farm. Even as this one. So it's kind of similar for armor. But the difference is that it's only a boss fight for the armor one. Also, I can build more. Although the problem is, kinda don't need it. I have a slightly better one. But all in all, it really takes a long time to farm these, especially the weapons. So I suggest you only farm the endgame weapons if you already know what weapons you need to main. Because there's a lot of them. But at the same time, you also need to sort of level all your weapons. It's here in the weapon proficiency, yeah. As you can see, it's almost balanced here. Now, the main reason we need to level them all up is because everything gives stats here. Like all of them gives attack stats, aside from the shield, which gives defense. And here I am 5191. Okay, 5191. It's not hard to memorize. So let's increase this. No, not that. Increase the level. And the stats should be higher. Okay, 92 now. Okay, it increased by 1. So basically, each level increased the attack by 1, aside from the shield. But that's not all. Right? Let's go back again to the proficiency skill. See. Now here it gives attack +1 to all weapons. Also HP. Again, another attack percentage. Oh, and I can enhance it by 1. Let's see, right? It's like 92 a while ago. Oh, now it's 204. Now, if you're able to level all those up, you'll have a way better stats than I have right now. It's just that really need to use the actual weapon to increase it, or just use the book. So it's better if you're using the book for the weapons that you don't really use. And that will be way easier. then leveling the weapons that you already use. But yeah, that's probably about it. It's already 20 minutes. But that's SAO integral factor. But what do you think of my very first gacha game? And what's your first gacha game?